everyone, and we're hanging out today in Gulf Shores, Alabama. In this video, we're going to show you everything there is to do in this town, from the zoo to the amusement parks and roller coasters, go-kart tracks, to some weird local food, the beach bars, and more. Stay tuned to see what there is to do here in the Gulf Shores. Beautiful day, too. Look at that. Let's kick off the tour with the park at OWA. The park at OWA is the newest attraction here in the Gulf Shores, and it is the area's new amusement park. It's a gated amusement park, so it's going to cost you about $35 to get in and check out all the rides. The star attraction here at the park at OWA is the Rolling Thunder roller coaster. It runs the full length of the park, 90 degrees straight up over the top, and then 90 degrees straight down before going into a big old loop. This ride is a ton of fun. And it's very picturesque too. Rolling Thunder is way more intense than it looks. Like, this ride features a crazy throw you out of your seat ejector airtime, some major forces, and that right there, these two airtime hills, really just nuts. I quite enjoy this roller coaster. I think I like the one that happens to be in Coney Island, a very similar ride, a little bit better just because it's more scenic. But Rolling Thunder, it's a star attraction. I much prefer this over like a Eurofighter or an SNS El Loco. So if you're coming to OWA and you're coming to Gulf Shores and you're a coaster fan, you might want to hit this place up. One of the more nauseating rides here at the park is Air Racer. And it goes all the way around, spinning you multiple ways. You do have adorable little roller coaster ride cars. Pretty ride, but hope your stomach can handle. This is the Alabama Whammo, which is a modern take on the classic Enterprise style attraction. Just got off, but it was neat. I'm not sure if I prefer this or the old Enterprise, but just like the old one, it gets you pretty easy. Kind of neat seeing Alabama from 60 feet in the air upside down. Here's the Crazy Mouse, which is the park's really the park's marquee family roller coaster. It's you're kind of your typical spinning wild mouse, not quite as exciting as some of them. If you've never been on one of these before, the top half of the ride you go through as a regular roller coaster. In the second half of the ride, the brakes come off and you get to free spin, which makes it kind of different, kind of interesting. As you go watch these guys here, they're going to hit the brakes off and then no longer follow the track of their ride vehicle. So if you've never been on one before, it's kind of fun. If you have been on them before, there's really no reason to ride them unless you really like spinning rides. The Freedom Flyer is the park's Sky Flyer style attraction. Not as tall as some of the other ones. This one's probably about 100 feet tall. Does spin you pretty well. Also interesting that the Zamperla model of this ride features a spinning tower, where most of them the tower stays stable and the ride vehicle spins itself. If you're traveling with children or little ones, the entire right side of the park at OWA is dedicated to all rides for the little kids and the families, so they won't be left out of the fun. Here is the Twister, which is the park's spinning pendulum ride, and you gotta pack your stomach for this guy. I personally prefer the ones of this that don't go all the way upside down. I found them to be more fun than the ones like Twister here, but that is an experience. All right, what time is it? Say it's about beer 30. Yes, the park at OWA, they serve beer. Not a whole lot of beer. $6 will get you a choice of domestics or Blue Moon. I went with Blue Moon, but hey, $6 for theme park beer, that's not too shabby. Here's Wave Rider, which is a really fun ride, one of their extended disco models, and fits a lot of people on it. Has the hump in the middle, so it's got roller coaster elements mixed with spinning ride elements in a ride that ends up being super fun. While the park at OWA is only under a year old, it appears they're already getting ready to expand with construction walls up in the family section of the park. That'll do it for the park at OWA, and I had fun. You know, I'm really not sure if it's worth the $35 admission charge. Right outside the park at OWA, you also have a whole shopping and dining area. Unfortunately, it's mostly empty. They built it and they have yet to get a lot of tenants, but there is a Wahlburgers and a bar where while I wanted to pay the $35 to go ride rides, my friends did not, so they hung out at the bar. I guess that won't be a bad idea if you're, parents with like kids that you can walk around on their own. You could, just say, hey kids, go have fun, and we'll meet you later. I had fun. If you're a roller coaster fan or you have somebody that loves theme parks and roller coasters in your family, it might be a good idea to stop here. Let's move on to the next stop in Gulf Shores. Up next on the tour is Waterville USA. Now we're here in April, so the water slide portion is not open. This is the main water park in town. You've got, you know, some major slide structures and things like that. And then the highlight of Waterville USA for these first coaster events, they have a wood coaster called Cannonball Run. And it's a kind of thing, it's not a gated park for the amusement park side, so you can come and just ride the roller coaster for about $7 and have a good time. There's also more things. There's an arcade, and there's an escape room, go-karts, mini golf. But the real stars of the show are the roller coaster and then the water park, which actually has some modern slides, like that mat racing slide over there. That is a fantastic slide. They've got a flow rider and a wave pool, so if you want some kind of if you want some water park fun that's not the beach, this might be a good stop for you. Also, that slide looks adorable. If you're looking for go-karts, the track is your place to go. Right off the strip, they have like 3 or 4 different go-kart tracks, including one of these big old multi-story wooden tracks over there in the distance. There's a big track. There's a whole bunch of other things to do. There's a mini golf, there's a sky coaster, there's bumper boats. If you're a roller coaster fan, there is one of these SBF Visa spinning coasters, unfortunately broken during our visit here, and a large arcade. So if you're looking for go-karts or you know, a nice place to spend an evening with family, track might be the place for you. We gotta love a ridiculous cheesy gift shop, and this one, it fits the bill. A giant purple octopus is the word I'm looking for, over the entrance. Hey guys, I think this one takes the cake for the over-the-top cheesy gift shop. Is Souvenir City. Been here since 1956. But look at this, to enter the gift shop, you walk through a giant shark's mouth. That's fabulous. So they even have a crazy back entrance to this gift shop as it's done up like a pirate ship.
With a photo op.
With a photo op. Time for some wacky food here in Gulf Shores. How about the Sassy Bass Crazy Donuts? Guys, check out the menu at this place. Breakfast donuts with eggs on them, sandwich donuts, pizza donuts, burger donuts, ice cream donuts, dessert donuts. This is weird, this is different. Then there's a whole bunch of normal donuts too. But I mean, that's crazy looking. So here's what we ended up with. We went with 2 different donuts. The what came first, which is bacon, egg, fried chicken, a donut, and honey drizzle. And the dude, a pizza donut with marinara cheese and pepperoni. All right, who's gonna have the first bite and try how these things are? They definitely seems like a knife and fork kind of dining things.
A lot of napkins too.
Yeah, definitely a lot of napkins. And it's kind of crazy, like the whole, besides the donuts themselves, it's like, kind of feels like the state fair, like a permanent version of the state fair with way more options.
Really good.
Really good, all right. The chicken looks good. All right, Sarah, let's see this, the pizza donut.
The honey overpowers most of it. It's
okay,
like
so it tastes
honey
like...
and then the chicken is what you taste.
Pizza donut.
Does it taste like pizza?
Yeah.
Does it taste like donut?
No.
Okay.
A little bit, no.
All right, well that's Sassy Bass. Wacky food here. Time to hit up some beach bars here in town, starting first with the Hangout. Check this out. It's covered in Pez. Tons and tons and tons of different Pez dispensers. There must be, you know, thousands of them up there. Crazy. All right, so we're out here, and there's a big outside area too with all sorts of games and stuff. Foosball, ping pong, tree rope. And let's talk a little bit about drinks. So this is a bar that we're going to. And not the best selection. About $5.75 for your craft beers, $4 and change for your domestics, and a lot of their drinks come pre-mixed. So if you order something on their specialty menu, chances are it's going to come out of a big old jug. So stick to beer here at the Hangout. Guys, there's another wonderful dork wall on this side. This is all like board games and action figures. Like, what a cool idea. So out here, there's a family foam party that blows off once every hour or so. This is different here. Next up on the beach bar list is the Pink Pony Pub, and this one's cool because it's physically on the beach. You're sitting outside, got the ocean air hitting you in the face, And got some interesting drinks here. Clay, you and I got the seven-headed dragon, which they don't even tell you what it is on the menu, just that it has quite a bite. And they pour it by taking a Tupperware jug of something, pouring that into a mason jar with a line on it, and then pouring that into your drink, and then mixing it with something else. Molly's, who's apparently I ordered a souvenir drink, did not know it, but there you go. Happy April. Here's your pink mug. It is a 150 Crazy, which is grain alcohol, and 151 and orange stuff. But the drinks are all good. The drinks are not cheap, about 10 bucks a piece, but you know, you're kind of paying for the view. And next up on our tour is the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo. One tip, get to the zoo early, as we got here at about 10 o'clock, and there's a giant line to get in. As soon as you get into the zoo, you enter and exit through a gift shop and ticket office. Kind of a nice area. You got a big old lemur island here with a couple of ring-tailed lemurs and other creatures. And then if you look just behind there, you got some tigers. Now the absolute highlight of the zoo here is the lemur encounter. It's an upcharge experience. It's $10, but it's really unique. You get to go inside the lemur pen and play with the lemurs. You get to get like a good 10 minutes or so with the lemurs, and they crawl on you. They might jump on your lap. They might jump on your head. You get to pet them. I had one lick me and hold my hand for like 2 minutes. It was very interesting. This was great. This is something you don't see at a lot of zoos, and when you do see some sort of encounters like this, normally they're much more expensive. So the biggest highlight of the Gulf Shore Zoo here, definitely the lemur encounter. King of the Jungle, awake for once. Normally lions sleep all day, and this guy's just hanging out, posing, being cool. And again, it's kind of a very small zoo, but they have some impressive animals. They have a lot of tigers, and then the two lions. I also wish the lion was playing with his keg. I would quite enjoy to see a male lion just playing with his keg and roaring and stuff. I do love it when zoos do this. They just have free-roaming peacocks. They could sort of just wander the grounds if they please. It is adorable feeding time for these guys. Little hands.
Like this is a normal day, and when it comes to
Go. How cute.
we're all super excited too because they're
Check out the little tiny kangaroo in the pouch. Now, a big thing here at the Gulf Shore Zoo is that they do animal enclosures. So this line here is for people to go into the habitat with the kangaroos and the wallabies. You get to take your picture with that adorable one in the pouch and things like that. So while it might not be the biggest or best zoo, the ability to get interactions at a cheap price is very nice. Got a whole bunch of birds here in this large shed-like structure. No fingers. This exhibit is a very weird pairing. You've got an African crown crane in the same enclosure as a capybara.
I hit him!
These are animals that are not paired together in the wild. There's one South American and one is obviously from Africa. Kind of weird to have them in the same enclosure. Wonder how that happened. Look at how excited the Coatimundis are. They're like pacing in unison. It's almost mesmerizing. Some of the larger animals here at the zoo, you've got a couple of tigers. One's hanging out on top of his shed. The other one is hanging out in the back. And right next to him is a guy mowing the lawn. That seems to have distracted the white tiger. Here's Goat Mountain. You have a very, very large alligator here. And it really fits too, because this area is kind of swampy. More animal encounters over here. You got a big long line to go hang out and meet a sloth for $10. And then something I really like, you can meet and play with a tamandua for $10 as well, which are lesser anteaters. They're really, really adorable little animals. Over here you got the serval cats, which are adorable. It's sort of like a mix between a house cat and a leopard kind of guy. And one thing, a lot of zoos, they have their servals in a very, very small area. Not here. They have, actually, the Gulf Coast Zoo has a very large enclosure for their servals, which is nice to see. Also, some of the larger of this type of animals that I've seen before. All right, you got me. I have no idea what's going on here. There's a boardwalk path to a dinosaur? Somebody explain this to me. I found this interesting. They're on the move to a new zoo about 4 miles north of this location. And if you go in here and look at some of the plans, it looks very different than the zoo that's currently have. This here kind of feels like very much a roadside attraction that happens to have animals Where if you look at some of these pictures for their new zoo, this feels much more like your major standard American dig style of zoo. With big cat canyons, African savannas, monkey islands. It won't have sort of the kitschiness of this zoo, but it definitely seems like it'll be a better experience. It's only the highest quality of zoo when there's Ferret World. It's just domestic ferrets. I mean, ferrets are cool, but if you can have one in your house, you probably don't need to have one at the zoo. Look how adorable this little guy is. He's a capuchin. He's eating some corn on the cob. And he's got a baby elephant friend. The reptile house is not the nicest exhibit I have ever seen. A lot of like aquariums you could have in your house. And that's it for the zoo. Time to move on to the next location. Definitely worth $11. I would say get here early and definitely do the lemur thing. The lemur thing is worth the price of admission alone. That's such an awesome thing. Let's go check out what's next in the Gulf Shores.